hello. Thank you for joining us today. This is Creative Visions TV. I'm your host, Karen Dahlman, and this is my board partner, Rodney.
The Ouija Whisperer.
So anyway, what's our topic today, Rodney?
You know, you get this question all the time, and we've talked about this in length, and we've talked about it on the board as well. How does one or two or even more people prepare for a session on the board?
That's a great question, because yes, you're right, that it does come out a lot. I get asked that a lot. And so this is a good, important question, because you really want to understand how you're going to start this. How are you going to start even using this tool when you comes with a box? There's not a lot of instructions. The older boards had instructions printed on the back of them. They did, but they never made sense to me. But anyway, so really, there really are no rules. And what I'm sharing with you is just what's worked for me over the years, and I've also helped a lot of people be able to use this tool, and that's all I'm doing is offering some of the things that have worked for me. Again, I've been using this board for 44 years, and Rodney's been using it for... 3 years.
So 41 years less.
And he does really well. So, okay, so number one, you get the board, you pull it out of the box, or you make your own board, or maybe you bought one, or somebody gave you one. All right, so you got a board in front of you and a planchette. Now, you want to think about it this way. This is what I like to do. I like to think of this as it's a tool. Number one, it's neutral. But I need to get into a real, either neutral space with it and not think it as bad or good or evil or any of these things. Just say that it's just a tool alone. That's all it is. I'm the operator. You're an operator, and we got to get our energy to a level where we can use this tool. You're doing all the work. We're doing all the work. The tool does nothing. Number one. Okay, so we know that. So you sit there with the tool and you go, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need crystals? Do I need my stones? Do I need my salt in the corners? Do I need my incense, my candles? Everything else that we like to use called talismans. And the spirit guides call it...
They literally call it baubles and beads.
Which is kind of funny, but they do that tongue-in-cheek because they know, this is what they say. They say, use what it is you need to use that helps you raise your vibration, that helps you feel good in your space. Because if you feel good in your space using this tool, you will attract that same kind of vibration back. So that's the number two thing. So you really want to have, get your space the way you want it. Get your internal space the way you want it. And then we like to start with a breathing exercise. I call it hips to heart and hearts to hips, both ways you go. So you breathe into your hips, and that's to ground you into the ground, into your sacrum, sacred area, and into the ground. And then you breathe up into your heart, and you begin to breathe in and out love. What that does is it sets the intention of I'm grounded, I'm solid, and I'm breathing, I'm allowing energies to come around me that are only about love, okay? We do that for, I don't know how many seconds, not very long.
Well,
20 seconds?
Interestingly enough, we do other things like you talked about.
We'll talk
do
about
candles
those.
And crystals, but for me, those things are meaningless. For me, the most important part is this breathing exercise that I learned.
Okay.
And I prefer to do it for an extended length of time.
That's true. He does it longer than I do.
I like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm just throwing those numbers out there.
Yeah.
But I like, because it centers me, it gets rid of any thoughts that I might have, any preconceived notions, and I try to just clear my mind, focus on the nail in the middle of the planchette, and go. Yeah,
I think that's good thing for you said about this breathing exercise. It's also a way to get meditative. It's also a way to deepen your state, so you could be more receptive to receiving messages and also getting yourself grounded and centered, which that's what he likes to do. Now, what I also like to do is the intentional prayer, I say, the invocation when I start. In that I state exactly what I want to communicate with, what I'm looking for. I give thanks. And then we open the circle. I also throw light out there, love and light, and work within that space as well. We also do our circuitry exercise, which is the way we connect our hands. The left hand is your feminine receiving hand inside of your body. The right is your masculine giving body. So we both take our hands like that. So let's show them like that. So his right is coming into my left, my right is going into his left, so he's got masculine to feminine, masculine to feminine. So we all have these sides within ourselves. people have asked me that question too. We all have within us a balance of dualism, which means masculine kind of like traits that are more like out there, less aggressive or assertive, getting out there, communicating, where the receptive side, the feminine side, is that part of you that's more, oh, I'm going to sit back here, I'm going to receive, I'm going to express joy and love, I'm going to allow people to send me love. It's that more coming into yourself, where the masculine's more out. So we do balance the energy first. I am into balancing energy, so that really works well for me. Again, it's these things we do, whether it's the prayer, the breathing, the circuitry exercise, it allows us to get into our own power. That's how I feel.
What I found is that connection through the circuitry exercise, in spite of the prayer itself, or maybe because of the prayer itself, but that circuitry exercise has become just as important to me as the breathing exercise. It's almost the stop off point for the breathing exercise before we actually get on the board, and I really appreciate it. I then feel that connection, not just with her, but with whatever it is that the spirit or whatever it is.
Yeah, spirit guide source that comes through. Yeah, it sets it up a vibration. We've asked them about this, and they said, they're the ones that taught me the hips to heart, and they're also the ones that taught me circuitry, but they also said, what you're saying and your intentions, all these three things we put together for us, for myself, and I've been doing this for years. This prayer, and the invocation, I've been doing the prayer, the prayer is the invocation, and the breathing, I've been doing it for, oh my gosh, about 25, 30 years, a very long time. And then I added the circuitry probably in the last, I guess, 15 years or something. It just added one other dimension that I feel like it took me to another level. So I think that's kind of what you're saying. It takes you to that next level to connect with the energies.
Yeah, you're absolutely, and to connect with you as well.
Yeah,
so I feel
that's important, to connect with your board partner, or if it's just you doing it alone, to really connect with your inner self. So the breathing does that wonderfully. So these are just ideas of things to do to make that connection. Now, then you're ready to start your session. At least then I'm ready to start my session. And again, I do bring out crystals sometimes. Sometimes I go, oh, I got this wonderful new candle, I'm going to burn it. I like the smell. I've got this new stone. I got these crystals from, Brazil or something. Or I got this necklace I need to wear. Here's my Ouija necklace. It's just to remind me of what I'm doing. It puts me in that sacred space. And
for me, they're absolutely meaningless.
Yeah.
And yet the breathing is extremely meaningful. So if those are meaningful, then by all means they should use them. Am I right?
I think so. You hit the nail on the head there, Rodney. Because if it brings meaning to you and allows you to feel centered, allows you to feel connective, allows you to feel empowered and protected, if that's what you want to call it, protected. And if it allows you to raise your vibration to connect, then by all means, use all the tools you can. But I do want to say, all those things all augment and help us. And of course, crystals, we know they have a lot of really cool properties about them. They're used in electronics, and they've been used in radios and everything. They're in our computers. So that's fabulous. They really have some properties here. They help us. But you, the board user, really is the one who's ruling and controlling and making this session happen. And I know this because you take the board away, you still can be empathic, you still can connect. And I know that works for me that way too. So what else should we add? Anything else you want to say?
I do. Real quick. The candle, the crystals, they're no more or less important than the board itself.
That's right. They're like the board.
There it is. Yeah. They're just like the board. You can do all this stuff without the board. So it's just an adjunct and add on, a takeaway, whatever it is that's important to you.
Well, and that's another important thing you just said. It's really important to, whatever rituals you are using in your life, pull them into this. So those rituals bring you meaning to this, meaning to get into a sacred space. Pull them by all means and use them. The spirit guides always say, use what it is that helps you raise your vibration. And it's nice to have these external things that remind us of that, and remind us of our sanctity, our sacredness, and it reminds us that we're in a sacred space. It helps. So yes, use everything you have that'll help you do it, but you don't necessarily need them. I so concur. So, any questions you have, leave them below, write to me as well, you know where to find me, and thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for commenting, and thank you for being our friends here. So thank you so much. This was Creative Visions TV. This is Rodney, and I'm your host, Karen Dahlman. See you again real soon. Happy boarding!